Say man, hey man, it's your boy V, and I'm back with another freaking video. So today we gonna be reacting to CJ So Cool and Rakai hates to be of the truth. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, half y'all know him, some of y'all probably don't know him. Let's see what we got today.
CJ, what you watching? No. We don't watch Rakai. No, bro. Stop.
CJ So Cool. I used to watch CJ So Cool, man. First of all, CJ So Cool. And guess what? If I see Leon catch it like I'm a and that's why you're yup. Mad Longo, Blanco
I know why y'all here. Y'all think I'm finna go at Rakai head, huh? And the old me would've destroyed him. I'm not even gonna lie. I would've clowned him so bad and made so much money off of him, and I would've laughed as he reacted emotionally. But when I watched this video, I did not see an enemy. I just saw a kid who grew up watching CJ So Cool and clearly acts just like CJ So Cool. And that changed everything. Because this ain't about Rakai. This is about CJ So Cool. And before I speak on anybody else's child, I need to take accountability for my own. Kamari, there's something I never fully said out loud. And today, I'm saying it. So if you came for drama, trust me. I left my newborn child at home alone, just so I could drive off chasing her mom through the city. Yeah, I know, that's how this story starts. Not as a good father, and not as a man either. Just a young dude making one of the worst decisions of his life. My daughter was asleep, very small, only a couple months old at the time. And instead of me sitting there protecting her, I was in my feelings. On Facebook, looking at her mama, stalking her page, watching her go out having a good time, partying all night. And something in me just snapped, man. And it wasn't even because I was in love with her, because at the time, we had already broken up. The truth is, I did it because I couldn't control her. So yeah, I left my kid at home by herself. And then I called myself building a little fort around it as if that was supposed to protect her from falling off the bed, busting her head. Then I got in my SpongeBob car and went looking for Nike. After driving around for about 10 or 20 minutes, of course I finally found her. I knew exactly where she was at. Gary is small. We all go to the same places. But when I found her, it was crazy because I'm yelling out the car like, "Hey, where you going?" She gonna yell back at me talking about something. She not in the car with me and she ain't in the club with you. She at home, sleep, where you need to be. She started yelling at me, talking about I better go home with my kid. I told her, you better go home too. So me thinking she finna go home, I watched her get in the car with her girls. And of course, to my surprise, what she do? Get in the car and jet across US 30 and go right to Denny's. After I just told her to go home, after she just saw I wasn't leaving until she went home. I drive SpongeBob right across the street and I hop out the car. Now I just have to remember that I just did some crazy stuff, shooting out the car right by the police. Now why I do this is because there was a group of people trying to rob me, but this ain't about that. But the reason why I didn't go inside Denny's and make a bigger fool of myself was strictly because of that story. So anyway, I went home, and then when I got there, I found Kamari still asleep in the same spot. Thank God. The whole time I'm thinking,
damn, that was close, bro. I'm not a good dad. I'm starting this off wrong.
I must admit, I had only been a dad for 2 months, and this was probably the first time Nike actually told me to watch my kid while she went out to party. And I ain't gonna lie, she had me all in my feelings, bro, because it wasn't enough that you just asked me to watch the kid as if you had something important to do. But the fact that you went to the club, and then I caught you, and then you went to Denny's, nah, that made it worse. But that didn't make it as worse as it's about to get. When I got home and realized she wasn't coming, I get back on Facebook and see her at a house party, bro. So I do the same thing I already did. I bundle Kamari back up, I pushed her closer to the wall, and make sure she didn't fall off and bust her head. So here I go, driving from another place, to another place, to another place, all through the city looking for Nike. And finally I found her, but again, at a gas station on Broadway. It's about 5 in the morning, what are you doing at a gas station? You gotta understand, bro. At the time, I had never had my heart given to a woman before. I had never had a child before. I never cared about any of my relationships like this. But Nike put it on me, man. Had me in love. I'm talking about that royalty love. See, the thing about my baby mamas is they both got the same type of love. The type of love that drove me crazy. Anyway, this ain't about that. But I do wish I had somebody to teach me about this type of stuff. Like, just teach me how to calm down and let people go. I've never really let anybody go.
Once you would see this so cool, you're stuck.
That's how it seems. And it's like, that's not a good trait to have. I've always wished I had the ability to let people do what they wanted to do. But for some reason, I always had to have control.
So back then, CJ was on point. You know what I'm saying? Like he had his waves going and all that kind of good stuff. Like that boy was the bomb. You know what I'm saying? I remember when Royalty, when he was asleep, Royalty had cut his hair. I don't know if y'all don't remember, but yeah. So that's crazy work. You know what I'm saying?
I bought you this, I gave you that. When realistically, that doesn't change anything. When you're raised by two women, your grandmother and your great-grandmother, you can't really expect much more to be a man and then not be acting like a woman. Come on now. Now, I'm not saying I'm homo. Now, no diddy, please. But what I am saying is that I understand I moved with emotion all the time. So that's what I'm homo. Now, no diddy, please. Much more to be a man and then not be acting like a woman. Come on now. Now, I'm not saying I'm
And over, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the freak is this? Wow. I thought that was Rakai for a minute. But no, I thought wrong. That was CJ so cool. Trying to be. Oh no. Let's get back to the video. I'm speechless.
homo. Now, no diddy, please. But what I am saying is that I understand I moved with emotion all the time. So that's what I did. I chased her, I reacted, and I tried to prove my point. And the crazy thing is, I'm over there trying to argue about something that's already done. We was already broken up. And eventually at the gas station while we yelling at each other, I finally get her to come back to me. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take you to my house and I'm not gonna argue no more as long as you come with me. And I did just that. We got in SpongeBob and I ain't say another word. She didn't either. But that's not peace. That's called tension. You know that feeling when you in the car riding home and ain't nobody talking, but you can feel it? Silence, ego, and pride. That's what that is. A combination of all three of those. Then we get in my house and she see, just as I told her, Kamari is asleep up against the wall with all the pillows and covers surrounding her. It was a good thing, not a bad thing. I made sure to leave a bottle right there and everything. And even though Kamari was 2 months old, she still would have been able to feed herself. Trust me, she was strong and smart. So me and Nike sitting there chilling, and it seems like the tension is cooling down a little bit. I swear, this is how the universe works, y'all. They threw a curveball dead at me, and I had a chance to be a better man, but I chose to be, you know what, I'm not gonna tell y'all. Y'all gotta listen to the story. When Nike phone rang and I answered it, I heard a man voice. That's the first thing I heard, first of all. I said, yo, who is this? He gonna say,
she know who it is.
and that's when everything in me went left. And it wasn't because he had any power over me or nothing like that. It was because I was powerless. I did not know how to control myself in a situation I had already lost. Because it was 5 in the morning when he called. So clearly Nike wasn't for me no more. That was my reaction. How you going? It's me, CJ. I thought you loved me. What? Big stroker. You messing with the little poker? I was so confused, I was lost for words, bro. And when she saw my energy, she did what every mother would have did. She tried to get Kamari, and I started yelling at her, telling her, stop, bro.
She ain't going nowhere.
You know how men get. All of a sudden, my child ain't going nowhere when you just left the kid home alone. So we started arguing, right? And it's getting real chaotic up in there. Kamari wakes up, I ain't gonna lie. She started screaming and everything. And in that moment right there, like I said, I had a chance. I should have thought to myself, this is just going overboard, bro. And it's all because of me. All I had to do was not answer her phone, not leave my kid at home alone, not go looking at her Facebook, stalking her, and not go chasing her around the city. Everything I did was because I was overreacting. She started yelling at me, talking about, I called my mama already. She on her way to come get me. Let me go. She walks out my door. I grab Kamari and say, my daughter's not going anywhere. Mind you, Nike was drinking all night, having a good time. It's 5 in the morning. She's tired. She don't want to be doing this right now. The tension alone is enough to put anybody in stress. I yanked Kamari. She yanked back. Kamari's screaming, and we both dropped her. I tried to stop her, I tried to catch my kid, but I couldn't. I literally missed my daughter, bro. I watched my child fall. It was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. The pain of my child's voice, the sound of her head cracking against the skull. Oh my God. Y'all don't understand, bro. This was one of them things I never thought I would talk about, but it's the reason why my daughter grew up the way she grew up. See, a lot of y'all see my child for what she has become, but you don't understand why. It's my fault. My kid, she goes out to these parties and she tries to have fun. She likes to dance, so that's something she finds fun in. My kid is growing and learning just like every other kid out here. She will one day be an adult, and then she will be able to hold herself accountable for her mistakes and actions. But right now,
So, I see the way she acting. I was watching one of the TikToks where she was spazzing out on CJ on 32's, Royalty, and all the rest of the folks, you know what I'm saying? But I love my people for much, you know what I'm saying? Like, CJ on 32, he to go. I've been watching him for a good minute, you know what I'm saying? Like, he a good card content, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so CJ on 32 is doing his big one. Shout out to CJ on 32, you know what I'm saying? Let's get back to the video.
Now, she's the same little girl that her parents fought over and accidentally dropped her on her head. And no, I'm not saying my daughter has Down syndrome or any type of head disease, because honestly, besides the scrapes that I saw on her head, besides the way her voice sounded when she screamed, besides the way her grandmother looked at me when she came to pick her daughter up and her grandchild, you wouldn't even be able to tell that any of this happened. But the people that were there that night, they know this is a real story. I had no control over my subconscious, so I didn't know how to react to any situation. It didn't matter what it was, I always overreacted. I really had no excuse. I just should have let them go. I had already lost. The guy that called baby mama, let me tell you about him. He ended up being the church drummer, which means every Sunday my baby mama went to church, she was gonna see him whether I liked it or not. And now, not only that, they was gonna have this story behind my back.
Remember when I called and your baby daddy answered the phone?
That's the life I had. So for those of you wondering, why did he move from Gary? That's why I moved from Gary. I'm not gonna disrespect her because she was not running around with the guy. The guy that called her phone, I guarantee you, he never got to touch Nike. But that's besides the point. She was literally running around the streets. I chased her through the streets, so I know what I'm talking about. I lost her, and I loved her. I lost my child because I dropped her on her head, and from that moment on, I couldn't look at her the same. Every time I saw my kid, I saw my mistake. Every time. My mistake of having a child too early with a woman that wasn't really ready to settle down, with a man that wasn't really ready to settle down. Having a kid with someone that I didn't have a ring on their finger. Having a kid with someone that really wanted to be a kid still and go out and have fun. And then having a kid without having the ability to control my actions and my decisions. The sound? Yeah, as you can imagine. It sounds like a brick hitting another brick. It sounded very bad. And the fact that this happened and it's real, and that Kamari is still alive, goes to show that God has special plans for her and me. When I ride around the city and I see my name on the back of trucks and on buildings, I say, Brady? Huh, that's funny. When I see Tom Brady, I say, Brady? That's funny. Wayne Brady? Brady? That's funny. You know, it's different from Williams. There's a lot of last names where people have, wait, actually, that was not intended. That is not intended. I'm gonna use a different name. Johnson. There's a lot of people named Johnson, you know what I'm saying? That is crazy, bro. For some reason, I just said two names that I'm familiar with, which both are common, but Brady isn't. And I'm not gonna say there's not nobody with the last name Brady, but just think about what I'm saying now. The universe is showing me what could be if I fix the insides of myself. So now that I am fixing the insides of myself, I can see the Brady family being dominant because of the change that somebody in the Brady family made. It doesn't have to be attached to me, but the change that I make could affect Kamari, CJ, and Daya, and they could make the change that affects their children, which are gonna be my grandchildren, and then the list goes on. And that's the point of life, evolution. Let's evolve. Let's get our family to the top. We don't have to stay at the bottom. But as my kids like to say,
I'm not good at that.
if you keep thinking you're not good at something or you don't deserve something, that's just what you're gonna get. Absolutely nothing. But the crazy thing is, all of this started happening a little bit too late, because honestly, this could have happened that night. That was my first sign from God telling me that I needed to change the way I moved and the way I reacted. But of course, because I did not realize that this was a sign or a lesson, I kept moving forward. As long as I ignore my daughter, because that's how I started to treat her. And after reading a few books and actually digging deep inside my own subconscious, I realized I wasn't tainted forever. I had not lost my child or my ability to be a good dad. I wasn't a victim. I wasn't even misunderstood at all. I wasn't just young or nothing like that. I wasn't just sprung either. I was just wrong, dangerously wrong. And that night, I realized how wrong I was. And then everything starts to play back. And I can remember her grandma pulling up like it just happened yesterday. They looked at me like I just failed, like failed the SAT and the whole family was dependent on me type fail. And that shame that they gave me, that I practically gave myself, it changed the way I parented. It changed the way I treated my kid. And I don't know if you ever seen a video before of me and Kamari and the other kids, but it changed the way I treated her. I became one of the most distant parents ever. And I captured it all on camera. And I ain't gonna lie, at the time, I didn't even realize it. I didn't know I was doing this, but I just know for a fact it was being done. But the truth really was, the day I dropped my daughter on her head, it made me realize that I didn't want to remember that at all. So yeah, instead of facing it, I put distance right in the middle of me and what was hurting me the most. That distance turned into awkwardness, and that awkwardness turned into straight up bad energy, man. I couldn't figure out what it was, but every time I had got around my beautiful child, I had the worst energy ever, and I used to tell her too.
Every time you come around, I lose something or something gets wrong with me. I don't know what it is about you.
So when people saw me being hard on my child and calling her a Riri or, you know, cutting her hair off when she was dancing at a party, it was because I was trying to bury something deep down inside me. I was trying to blame her for my unhappiness when really It was all on me the whole time. If I had never dropped her on her head, if I had never chased her mama through the city, then none of this would have ever happened. The crazy thing is, I've been lied on in the worst ways, and even the lie they told didn't affect me as much as dropping my kid on her head. But the fact that no one knew that I dropped my child on her head hurt me even worse, especially when I started apologizing to these other kids and all that, but I never told my child how sorry I was. And I can't even remember if I ever did or not. But it doesn't matter, because this way that I feel right now, this moment that I'm in, this evolution that I'm going through, it reminded me that I have a chance to fix everything, not just a bad relationship, but a bad upbringing of my own daughter. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, man. When you're trying to bury some shame, it get ugly, and it does ugly things to good people. It makes you cold with the people you're supposed to love. It makes you all defensive all the time as if something's wrong. It makes you push away people that you owe the most. That was my kid. I was supposed to give her everything, not the money, but the love, the affection, the attention. Every time she flew to Las Vegas, I was supposed to show her more than just a big old house. I was supposed to give her more than just a power wheel. I was supposed to give Kamari the life she never had. And of course, I tried to do that. Come on now, don't act like I wasn't just trying. Imagine not showing your child love and affection and it's free. Kamari didn't deserve that. She deserved patience, gentleness, awareness, kindness. She deserved a real father. I'm not gonna lie. I used to always say,
Her mom got it, man. Yeah, her mom, they vibe better together.
no, it wasn't that. It was that her mom never left her. It was that her mom wasn't the reason she fell on her head, even though her mom was out partying that night. It had nothing to do with her mom, the reason that she grew up and potentially had something wrong with her because I dropped her on her head. So Kamari, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my lack of being able to control myself. I'm sorry of distance between us for how many years? I'm sorry for all the times I spoke out of frustration instead of just giving you love. So many times I looked at you and just wanted to hug you, but instead I chose to yell at you out of anger. I'm sorry for all the confusion, and most importantly, I'm sorry for the pain you went through as a baby and as a teenager. A lot of people watching this video, they gonna understand what I'm talking about too, Kamari. A lot of us grew up the same way, but the difference is, a lot of us grew up like this and nobody ain't ever thought to apologize to us on camera or in person. But silence doesn't heal anything, that's what I found out. The truth heals everything though. So the reason I'm here apologizing to you is because I'm trying to heal a broken bond that I have created. I'm the reason that created the tension between us. I'm the one that put that distance there. And I'm sorry, baby girl, because you didn't deserve that. Being a parent is not just about being there. It's about being safe and being calm for your children. It's also about being healed enough, not that you start bleeding all over your kids. They don't deserve the problems and issues that came from your relationship, especially if it's their mother. I'm not gonna lie. This story sounds real terrible, but I don't want y'all to think I'm a monster. But I did do some monstrous things that day. But that was back when I had no control over myself. I didn't know what I was doing, but I faced that, and I had to face that, and I'm glad I did. And I'm gonna tell you right now, redemption does not come from hiding or storing the truth away. It comes from telling the truth and expressing yourself. Now that my daughter knows this story, that y'all know this story, I don't have to walk around hiding it anymore. And if anybody wanna say anything in the comments, trust me, I'm here and I agree with you already before it's even said. I just wanted to make this video for my fathers out there. If you a father right now, single or not, just go hug your child, man. Just do that for me. If you angry, anytime, today, right now, or even never, just always remember to breathe and think about what can go wrong if you decide to act or react on those emotions. And remember, just because you got hurt don't mean that you need to take that pain and give it to somebody else. Because sometimes the damage is irreversible. And I'm blessed, I swear. I'm glad that Kamari is okay. But I'm telling you, dropping her on her head did something to her. She was a perfect baby, and now all of a sudden, everybody just thinks she's not. And when I say everybody, I'm talking about y'all in the comment section that's always talking crap about my kid. Kamari, for you, I want you to know how much I love you. Not the fake love, not the camera love, even though this is a video, but the real love. The kind of love that's ready to tell the truth. The kind of love that takes responsibilities and make changes in his life. And that's exactly what I'm here to do. So the next time I see you, Kamari, on camera or not, I want to give you a better hug. I want to look at you in your face and actually tell you I love you, and I want to really mean it. And I don't want any distance to be between us anymore. If you ever feel in any type of way, tell me, because I'm going to be as calm as possible when I respond. And I'm going to always listen to you and genuinely care about what you think and how you feel. As from now on, just consider me your dad. In the past me, just call me See They So Cool.
All right.
You're looking for business funding?
No. So the video is now over, and tell me what y'all think about this video, and it's crazy. And make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and push the notification bells to all. Make sure y'all don't miss another video. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.